And we're back. So now, we are going to get some olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, I prefer that. And just drizzle a good amount on there, a healthy, faithful amount. Then you start to put your shit, hold on, come on. On high. I want it on high so I can cook the olive oil with everything intact, you know? So it's going to take quite a bit for this to come in place. I got to find me, this will do, a spatula. So keep that in the back of my mind for now. Another important feature is chicken bouillon. I want me about 2 cubes, 2 of these. So I'm going to keep those to the side. I'm also going to need 1 small can of tomato sauce. Open it up halfway or whatnot with the your handy dandy trusty can opener. Leave that as is. Now, it is currently 1:45. I have about technically 5 minutes left till it's fully done, but I gauge chicken. It's already cooked by then. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off this thing. And I'm going to start, let me bring this camera over here, cutting the chicken. With the cutting board that I just recently cleaned, I'm going to put the chicken on here and start cutting it. So I got to get each and every individual piece one by one. Oh no, Pequeño, you're falling off. We're almost done. This is going to take a minute. Look. Okay, just 2 pieces at a time. Alrighty. The sizzling behind me, I hear also, is the oil in my pan, and the other one heating up with the onion. So I'm going to turn around and I'm going to let it simmer in here for a bit because I love caramelized onions. So while that's going on, I'm going to start dicing the chicken. Not dicing, but shredding the chicken. Shred, like cut like 3 or 4 times into each piece of chicken. They should fall off easy, which these do fall off easy. So to shred them up, don't do it by hand, it's going to burn. So I just got a fork and a knife on me, cut each piece into like 4 or 5 segments or shred it into however you want. I do it into 4 or 5 segments, enough for like their bite size if you want to pick it up with a fork, you know. So do that with each and every piece and then leave it on the cutting board once you're done. I got about 6 minutes left of the next segment of the video I'm going to need. Oh, I can hear the caramelization going good. I hear the popping in the back, and that is great. So I'm going to take a quick pause over here, and I'm going to shuffle around the onions. And actually, another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the chicken bouillon cubes inside there while it's still nice and hot. So the seasoning can already be inside there when it's going to be introduced to the rice. So So they're gonna come in hard cubes, so break them up with your spatula, not with your hand, because it will like stain your hand, and your hand will stink of chicken bouillon, unless you don't mind that. So I'm just gonna cut them up into pieces, and I'm gonna let it simmer around in there. You really don't need any other spice. This is your main ingredient for spice and flavor. One of the main ingredients, you know? Shit. So that's introduced nice and well. So now I'm going to put the rice in there, and I'm going to let the rice simmer in there for a little bit, let it brown for a little bit, you know? So put the rice in there, stir it if you want a little bit, let it rest in there for like 2 or 3 minutes, check it every second, so you can let it brown and let it moisten or let it absorb the flavors of the caramelized onion and your chicken bouillon that's mixed in there. So we're gonna let that simmer for a little bit because it's gonna take a little bit for rice to get all that anyway, you know? So, but important, I think I already mentioned this, I did not throw out the pot water. Don't do that. You'll know why in a second. So I'm taking this time to cut up the rest of my chicken. I have about 1 more piece left to go. Okay. Now let's put the phone back over. You know, let's do it right here. I don't want this cooking anything. So, with the rice, just stirring here every now and then, it's going to start absorbing all of that flavor, all of that good stuff, you know? With the oil already marinating everything. The onion is introduced just fine. The chicken bouillon has been going everywhere too. And it should take some time for that rice to brown. So it's already been browned pretty much almost all the way through. So I'm just get a little bit more into everything, swirl it around a good little bit. And now I'm gonna lower the temperature of the pie side over here. It's on high still. I'm gonna lower it to 6.5. Get it a quick little thing. I'm gonna take half the can of tomato sauce and pour it in there. You don't want the whole can, just half of it. So you have to kind of gauge it. If you want to use a measuring cup, you can if you want. I like gauging, so I've done it by that lots of times. Now, important thing. Get your thingy ready. I'm gonna have this ready over here. So get yourself some mittens. And that pot of water that the chicken is boiling in, pour that inside here slowly, because it's going to be a lot. Woo! Yep, that's a good amount. Let me turn on the fan. Woo! Yes, sir. There's some water that actually fell on. That's fine. I'll clean that up really quick. I think I may need a little bit more water. Let me verify. A little bit more. I'm going to get a gracious little bit more from this pot. And then I'll get the correct holder for that. I think this is the correct one. Yes. This is the correct one I'm supposed to be using. Okay, after that, and just put the pot right here for now, fuck it. I'll dump the water in a second. Everything's boiling like that. Just make sure you simmer and stir everything around. That way the sauce gets mixed in with the water. And the rice will be cooking. It's on a 6.5 because you have to cook rice on a medium temp. You don't want to do it high, otherwise it's going to soggy up and be ruined. Now, with this, now you get your shredded chicken and pour this inside here. Careful about it, you don't want it to splash, otherwise it will just make a mess. Ooh, yeah. Alrighty. Shit. Alrighty. Evenly distribute out the chicken inside here so it's nice and melding within the water also. You can turn off the fan now if you want so there's no more smoke. And now that it's at a 6.5 temperature, put your lid on it and let it sit. Every 5 minutes or so, take off the pot, stir it a little bit so it doesn't stick, and I'll see you back in about 15 minutes and we'll see the update for our final product.